Hello and welcome to Empowered Living with Kimberly Malusis. We're going to be going through a really brief introduction to essential oils. This will give you a general idea about what essential oils are, how they're used, and how they can benefit you in your health and other aspects of your life. If you find after listening to this short video that you would like to have more in-depth information about essential oils, then be sure to reach out to me. I have lots of webinars that I've taught which gives you more in-depth information, and it can help to empower you even further. So first of all, as we're starting, you need to know that what I focus on is how to empower you to take control of your health and your happiness with using essential oils. And I don't say this lightly. I have been in search of natural remedies myself for many, many years. And when I found essential oils, it was like the missing link for me. And so it helps to empower us in our physical health. But I mentioned happiness as well, because we know that we use essential oils very effectively for mood management. This little webinar here is not going to go into detail about using essential oils for mood management, but if that is something that's of interest to you, then you're going to want to explore that with me a little further. So do know that as I'm speaking, that I'm not going to be telling you how to use oils for a disease, to treat or to cure or prevent any disease. I don't diagnose. And we're talking about supplementing your health and wellness. So we have to include this disclaimer because we know that the only product that can make a drug claim would be a synthetic product. So if it's not produced by a pharmaceutical company, we can't make a drug claim. We know that essential oils are used very effectively to help to support your body in all kinds of circumstances, but just know that I'm not going to be directly diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing any disease. So we're going to go over what essential oils are, specifically about doTERRA oils, what makes them stand out, how we use essential oils, and how you get them. So basically, what are essential oils? Well, at their kind of most basic definition would be that they are highly volatile aromatic compounds. Now, volatile can be seen to be negative when we're talking about someone's behavior, but it's actually a good thing when we're talking about essential oils. It means that it can transform from one state to another very quickly, and that's why we can smell essential oils so easily from one end of the room to the other simply by opening a bottle of essential oils. It's what makes them smell so amazing as we walk by a plant. And so we love that the essential oils are volatile, but know that they are distilled and extracted from plants. When we're talking about most essential oils, they are steam distilled. For oils that come from citrus, they are cold pressed. And when we're looking at that bottom left-hand side, you see a peppermint leaf. And peppermint is a beautiful oil. But just to the right of that peppermint leaf, you see a kind of blown up version, a magnified version of what that leaf would look like if you could see it under a microscope. And there you see the little oil sacs. Those oil sacs are the essential oils. And those oil sacs would be found on the leaves of plants, for example, and the bark of trees and the roots of plants. We find them in the rinds of fruit for citrus and flowers. All different parts of the plants can have essential oils, and where we get the oils from will be dependent upon what we're trying to create in terms of a therapeutic benefit. Now, the cool fact is that even though all essential oils come from plants, not all plants have an essential oil. There's only about 200 to 300 plants that we know of that actually have an essential oil connected with them. So they're very precious. And we use the oils pretty powerfully in a number of ways. But we are not the first ones. We know that essential oils have been used throughout history for thousands of years. We've used them in anything from food preparation and beauty treatment to personal health. And so we could walk through history, and we don't have time to do it now, but we see that when we're talking about using essential oils, we're not talking about something entirely new. We're talking about what we've been using as human beings for thousands and thousands of years to support our health. In fact, pharmaceutical companies know this because 80% of medicines that are currently prescribed started with a natural ingredient like an essential oil or other compound of a plant, and that's how they get their pharmaceuticals. They study the essential oils in the plants in order to get their pharmaceutical active ingredients. So when we're talking about using essential oils, we're not talking about something completely different from what the pharmaceutical world would use, but we're talking about the original source of those active ingredients by going back to the plant and looking at how those active ingredients have been used through history, how we can see that they're supported for use in modern day. And we have incredible benefits from using the active ingredients that we find in essential oils. Now, most over-the-counter medicine prescription drug would have one active ingredient, potentially two. For example, Tylenol would have acetaminophen. Tylenol with codeine would have acetaminophen and codeine. That for the most part, they just have one active ingredient. When we're talking about using essential oils, lavender oil, for example, has 205 active ingredients. And so we're really getting the active ingredients in their full gamut that they're meant to be kind of contained in. They're not meant to be isolated. And because of that, we don't get the side effects by using the oil and the active ingredients in their entirety, as we would when we're extracting an isolate and using it as a pharmaceutical. So we know that it's been become problematic that we've been extracting and using just one active ingredient. That's where we're getting the side effects with our current medication system. When we're talking about using essential oils, we have to know that they're super concentrated. So they're 50 to 70 times more concentrated than herbs. So when we look on that left-hand side and we see the bottle of peppermint oil and we see the cup of peppermint tea, even though they're both mint or peppermint, they're very different in terms of concentration, because one drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So when we're using essential oils, a little goes a long way. And that's what makes them so incredibly potent and applicable and effective for the many things that we need support with. On the right-hand side, we get to understand something pretty cool about our bodies, which is that our cells are coated with an oil coating. And so when we have pathogens that are affecting our cells, they will often affect us from the outside of our cell. That would be a bacterial infection. But sometimes we get a pathogen that affects us from the inside of our cell, and that would be a viral infection. A virus is a piece of DNA that inserts itself inside of your cell and uses your cell to duplicate itself. So when we're talking about using prescription medication, often when you go for a bacterial infection, you can get an antibiotic as a prescription unless the bacteria has become resistant. But when we're talking about going to the doctor for a virus, for example, a cold or flu or mono, often we're sent away and said, well, just have some chicken soup and wait for it to run its course. And the reason for that is because the virus is inside of your cell, and there's not a lot of medication that can actually pass through the cell wall in order to affect that virus. Again, around the outside of your cell is an oil coating. Most medications are water-based, so they can't penetrate that cell. Well, an interesting fact about essential oils is that they are oil and they are lipophilic, which means that they can pass through that oil coating on your cell. So the essential oils can be highly effective at protecting your body and against both the threats from the inside as well as the outside of your cell. So when we're talking about looking at the essential oil grades, you need to know that not all oils are created equally. We know, for example, that about 90% of the oils that we're going to find in the world are synthetic, and those would be oils that are found in common products and in essential oil type products that you would find at Walmart, for example. They're not actually true essential oils, they're synthetics, and so that's where most of the essential oils fall in this world. Another portion can be food grade oils, and actually these can be synthetic as well, but they're considered by the FDA, for example, in the United States, to be GRAS, or generally regarded as safe. That says nothing about the efficacy of the oil in terms of its ability to be used to support your body. It just basically is saying that it's not going to kill you. When we move to the right, you see that there's therapeutic oils. And so oils that you go and you purchase from the health food store, as an example, would be therapeutic grade oils. You need to know, however, that there's nothing to say that those oils are not cut with something else, that they're not also synthetic, because you can have any number of things being sold as a therapeutic oil because there is no governing body overlooking the quality of oils. There's no governing body that says that in order for an oil to be labeled as this, that, or the other thing, that it actually has to have any kind of testing done to it. So really we're just down to labeling standards, and we've seen multiple examples in the industry of things being labeled as 100% pure when they're entirely synthetic. And so that is why doTERRA, when they created their grade of oil, which is CPTG, they were filling a huge need in the essential oil world. CPTG stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. Certified means that it has been tested by a third party to be sure that it meets the standards that doTERRA is claiming that it meets. P stands for pure, which means that there is nothing in the oil other than oil. They're not going to be ever cut with any kind of alcohols or other fillers. T means that they're therapeutic. And this becomes very important. I've heard lots of people ask me about whether our oils are organic, and it will require a much broader discussion than what we can have right now. In fact, I've done an entire separate video on that. But organic is really irrelevant in the essential oil world. And part of the reason for that is that an oil can be organic and still be therapeutically irrelevant. Therapeutic from a doTERRA perspective, when we're testing for that and when we're certifying that our oils are therapeutic, means that all of the active ingredients that that oil should have are all there, and that they're all there in the right proportions to have an efficacious effect on your body. So CPTG is the highest grade of essential oils that is found in the world today, and doTERRA offers this to us, and we can be assured that when we're using these oils, we're not only getting something that's not synthetic, we're getting something that's going to be therapeutically potent to support our bodies. So we just talked about the testing that doTERRA does, and know that there are probably more than 16 tests that are done on every batch of oil that we produce, and that they're done 3 times. And one of those times is by a third party. Of course, it's important that you know where you're getting your oils from. And so we have created an app called Source to You. So there is a website and there's an app. And for any bottle of essential oil that you purchase from doTERRA, you can scan the barcode and you can find exactly where that oil was sourced from. And you can also see the GCMS testing results from that particular bottle of oil. Now, of course, GCMS testing is insufficient to tell you whether an oil is pure and therapeutically relevant. However, it is a start, and many people would like to see that GCMS testing, and so doTERRA makes it available by simply scanning the barcode of any bottle of oil that we produce. Another important aspect of the sourcing of oils is to know what impact are we making on the world from sourcing our oils. Now, whereas some companies will go in and purchase their oils and make the farmers undercut each other so that they can barely have enough money to survive, doTERRA has quite a different approach. They've actually been featured in Forbes magazine for having an impact on poverty through their co-impact sourcing model. So this requires a much broader discussion, but just know that what this means is that not only do we source oils from their indigenous soil so that they're not getting grown in a greenhouse somewhere, but we are ensuring that the people who are growing and harvesting and distilling our oils are getting paid beyond fair trade. And it goes even beyond that, because we have another aspect called the Healing Hands Foundation. And when we're going and partnering with these communities all around the world, whether it's in Nepal, India, or whether it's in Ghana, or wherever it happens to be, we will look and see, well, if there are no wells, let's drill wells. If there's no schools, we'll build schools. And we have a huge humanitarian aspect to the sourcing of our oils. So the 3 ways that we use the oils are aromatic, topical, and internal. Now, an aromatic use of an oil would be, for example, to get an effect on our respiratory, to give us respiratory support. It can also give us support for mood management. It can also help to keep the air pure and clean of pathogens. When we're talking about using an oil topically, we're often using it for discomfort that we might be feeling in different areas of our body. We can use it topically on the bottoms of the feet because the feet are not very sensitive. And so when we're putting a hot oil, for example, it's unlikely to cause a sensitive reaction on the bottoms of the feet. But we also know that the bottoms of the feet, from a reflexology standpoint, are attached to all the parts of our bodies. And so we can safely affect many areas of the body simply by applying the oils on the bottoms of the feet. Now you see a number of products featured here. One in particular that I want to highlight is something called fractionated coconut oil. When we're using an oil topically, we are going to be often using it with fractionated coconut oil. That just helps to ensure that the wicking away doesn't happen, and fractionated coconut oil is going to be scent-free. It has an unlimited shelf life. It doesn't go rancid, and it doesn't go sticky and gummy the way other oils would. So it's a great carrier oil for essential oils. Going back for a moment to the aromatic use, of course, I need to mention that we have plenty of diffusers available, and diffusers are an amazing way to have the aromatic benefits of the essential oils kind of affecting a whole room or a number of people all at once. And so I consider a diffuser an essential tool when using essential oils. And likewise, fractionated coconut oil would be an essential tool for a topical use. The final way that we use essential oils is internally, and this is only true of CPTG oils. The oils that you're getting off the shelf will often say right on them for aromatic use only, and there's a reason for that, because they don't know what's in their oil. We know what's in our oil. We know that lemon oil is lemon, and so therefore it's safe for internal use. There are a few oils that we don't take internally. Anything that contains wintergreen, for example, is very high in methylsalicylate, and we wouldn't want to be taking that oil internally, so that one has a child safety cap on it. But for the most part, the oils are safe for internal use. Now, you see again a number of products featured here on how we use oils internally in a number of products that we produce. An easy way to do it is what you see on the left, which is putting lemon oil in our water. It's a great way to keep our liver functioning the way that it's meant to be functioning. But one of the best ways to use oils internally, if you're not enjoying the taste of the oil, is instead of putting in water, to put it in something called a veggie cap. So a veggie capsule is just an empty capsule that comes apart. We can put the essential oil inside of it, click it together, and then it's easy to take internally. Now, of course, doTERRA is a wellness company. Even though we're the largest essential oil company in the world, we actually have a wellness approach, and so we consider ourselves a wellness company. And as such, we don't just focus on having an oil for every ill, like they would have a pill for every ill, but we really focus on as you can see, what we would call a wellness pyramid. And at the top of, or the bottom of that pyramid rather, is eating right and exercising, resting, managing stress, reducing your toxic load. And then, of course, there's informed self-care and proactive medical care. And so when you're seeing the products featured here, you're seeing other products that we have to support a wellness approach. The number one product that doTERRA sells is our Lifelong Vitality Pack, or our supplements. And this is by far the biggest and best investment that you could ever make in your health. I have explained this in great detail on my YouTube channel. So if you want to focus on just the Lifelong Vitality Pack, you can go to my Facebook page or my YouTube channel to understand the benefits of the Lifelong Vitality Pack. But there's a reason why it's our number one selling product. It has had a huge impact on so many people's lives that they do not want to be without this product. It has a 30-day money-back guarantee, and as you can see, the price is $84.50 US. For just over $100 Canadian, you are going to transform the way that you feel, the way that you think, your mood. So much is going to be changed as a result of just using this supplement system. And if you don't like it, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, but very few people have ever returned it. So a couple of oils I'm going to talk about. One of them is lavender. We've mentioned lavender having 205 active ingredients. It's the reason why when you ask me, what would I use to support this, that, or the other thing, often the answer is going to be lavender. You can see that it's a nervine and calmative. And so when we're talking about using lavender, it's so effective for helping those anxious feelings, right? We can relieve as an antispasmodic for digestive discomfort. So just putting it on the belly topically. We can use it for symptomatic relief of acne and boils, and even to help relieve cuts and burns. And so There's a number of uses for lavender. Of course, it really helps to calm, and so putting it in a bath at bedtime is fantastic. Putting it on your pillow, putting it on the bottoms of your feet, especially on your big toe, can really, really help to have a healthy, restful sleep. We can use this oil aromatically, topically, and internally. If you see on the bottom right-hand side, the sourcing of this oil is actually not just Bulgaria, but also from France. And so this is the highest therapeutic value that you're going to find in a lavender oil. You're going to be able to use this for any number of things to support your body. We have lemon. So lemon is probably one of the most popular oils with doTERRA. It's also one of the most cost-effective. It's one of the cheapest oils that we produce, and yet it is so powerful in what it can do. We know that it can help relieve colds and coughs, used very effectively in a number of applications for colds and coughs. We know that it cleanses the skin. I mentioned adding lemon to your water and drinking it to support a healthy liver and healthy digestive process. We can diffuse it for an uplifting aroma. I love the smell of citrus oils in the air. And then, of course, putting it in a spray bottle to not only create a fresh, clean scent throughout the home, but it does have antimicrobial properties that would be very effective in cleaning solutions. So mixing it together with some baking soda can create a nice scrub for the bathtub. We've also used it very effectively in removing sticky things, whether it's gum from the carpet or tar from boots. It's very good at breaking down petrochemicals, and so it's very effective for those kinds of applications. We love using it in cooking. So if you like to make salad dressings or lemon chicken or even lemon meringue pie or lemon squares, this really boosts the flavor of all of those kinds of recipes. Peppermint is an oil that I would never want to be without. And peppermint is one of the ones that we mix regularly together with a citrus oil like wild orange or lemon, and it just helps to provide a real boost to our energy level. Now, interestingly enough, even though it can boost your energy level, it's also considered to be a nervine and calmative. And it's kind of interesting. Citrus oils tend to be the same way. They're both uplifting and calming at the same time. One of the beauties of having the essential oils with their massive collection of active ingredients is that they can do so much at once. Now, it does have a high menthol content, and so when we're talking about keeping our respiratory passages open and healthy, then we definitely want to introduce peppermint for that. It's going to be fantastic for the tummy, so just rubbing some on the tummy or taking it internally. We know that peppermint tea is good for that, and like I said, when 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea, we can only imagine how effective that is for the tummy. We use this for helping with colds and coughs and lowering body temperature, for reducing joint and muscle pain that could be associated with sprains or strains or rheumatoid arthritis. So pretty incredible what peppermint can do. Tea tree, the other name for it is Melaleuca, is so well known in the essential oil and even the natural remedy world. But it's one of the oils that you have to be careful of because it's well known. Many try to sell off a very inferior version of it as being therapeutically relevant, and it's not. So our oil is incredible. It's sourced in Australia, and it's one of the highest quality tea tree or Melaleuca oils that you can find. We use it in aromatherapy to relieve colds and coughs, and it has a great effect on the skin. So we use it often for cleaning the skin when there is need for that, especially on the face of teenagers. We can apply it to fingernails and toenails after showering to keep things looking clean and healthy, and helping prevent the spread of any kind of pathogen that might be in a shower area of a public pool, for example. So keeping it in the bottoms of the feet and inside your shoes can just help keep them smelling a little better than what they'd otherwise be smelling. Now, again, this oil can be used aromatically, topically, and internally. Oregano is a very well-known oil, but the problem is that most people try to use our oil the way that they use theirs, and theirs usually has a dropper in it, and that's probably about 86% olive oil. So you need to know that ours is ridiculously hot. It is so much more concentrated and potent than any oregano oil I've ever experienced before. I used to think the other oil I had was hot until I experienced doTERRA. So this is pure oregano oil. It is not cut with olive oil. So you need to know that. You're going to use it very differently as you would an oil with a dropper in it, which is mostly olive oil. We can use this for cooking. Of course, we know oregano is amazing in Greek cooking and pasta sauces, but you certainly don't want to be dropping a drop of oregano oil in your pasta sauce. Even though it says that you can do that here, I would say a much safer way to do it, unless you're making a large amount of pasta sauce, is to actually put it in olive oil and then add the olive oil bit by bit, or put it in salt and then add the salt bit by bit. Or some people will just put a toothpick inside the bottle and then spread the toothpick around in their sauce, and that will be enough seasoning for them, because it's very, very powerful. We can use diluted as a powerful cleansing agent for the skin. Now there's a number of I don't have the freedom to express what some people have used oregano for on the bottoms of their feet and in other places where there has been something troublesome on the skin, but there's a number of different applications for this oil, and this doesn't even begin to touch on it. Frankincense is known as the king of oils. It is such a powerful oil that literally entire books have been written just about frankincense oil. I could probably do a 1-hour webinar just on frankincense, and this will be so effective for helping to support your skin. Some people call it the oil of Olay because it has been so effective at reducing the appearance of blemishes and lines on the face, and it's really helpful for just keeping your immune system strong. It's really effective for people to keep their mood elevated and getting rid of sad feelings. It can be very effective for just having healthy skin, healthy cells, all kinds of uses for this. Deep Blue is an oil blend, and so this is a combination of wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, ylang-ylang, helichrysum, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. And this blend, as you notice, has a child safety cap because of the wintergreen, so it's not an internal use oil, and not really one we would stick in a diffuser either. We were really using this oil topically to help relieve muscle discomfort. And we put a couple of drops, for example, in some coconut oil. You can use that for an incredible massage after working out or after a hard day in the garden, or, you know, or you just feel like putting your hand on your back because you've just done a little bit too much. We can use this in a number of different ways that are supportive, especially when kids are growing and they have some need of some support in their legs, for example. This is a great oil for just helping to support the muscles. Easy Air is also known as Breathe in the United States, and this is an oil which is effective for just keeping our respiratory passages open. You can see the oils that are contained in this incredible blend. Not only does it have an amazing smell, and not only is it amazing for diffusing during the winter months, but I just love keeping this essential oil diffusing all the time. It keeps all the passageways open in the air. It helps to just support the respiratory system. It has just a beautiful open smell to it, which I know that essential oils, what they do for us physically, they often do for us emotionally. So it helps us to keep emotionally open as well. Pretty incredible oil. And then next one is Zengest, one of my personal favorites, because no one goes to the doctor for gas or tummy pains, but they can be troublesome nonetheless. And within minutes of applying this oil on the tummy or putting it under the tongue, you're going to find that things start moving along and you're feeling way, way better. Really helpful after a heavy meal, really helpful when you're traveling or trying new foods. Really great for just doing this abdominal massage. And you can mix it with fractionated coconut oil. I recommend that for people who might have sensitive skin. And so it's super, super helpful for just supporting your digestive system. Look at the ingredients: ginger, peppermint, caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, fennel, all things that we know to be super wonderful for the digestive system. Then finally, we have On Guard. So On Guard is our protective blend. It's containing a mixture of clove and cinnamon, wild orange, eucalyptus, and rosemary. It is one of the most popular oils that we sell. We make a number of products with the On Guard oil. It is so effective for helping to protect yourself against environmental threats. I never want to be without this during the season when everybody is coming down with something or catching something. Don't want to ever be without this oil. I use it very effectively. Sometimes I put it in a little spray bottle with water, and I can use that to spray my hands, but then I can also spray it into my throat, and it helps to provide relief that way too. A lot of people use this and as part of their cleanser. doTERRA makes a concentrated cleanser with On Guard, and it's really amazing. Has a beautiful smell, really great for keeping the air clean when people are visiting, and has an amazing aroma at the same time. So we have an endless number of products virtually for supporting you and your family, whether it's skincare or hair care or cleaning or just supplementing. We have a number of products that are going to be supportive to you. How do you get essential oils? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You can either purchase at retail, but I highly discourage that. It does not make sense. I'm an accountant by trade, and I just can't make sense of a retail purchase. And the most effective way to purchase the oils is to get a wholesale account. It's $42 Canadian or 35 US for a 1-year wholesale membership, but that then gives you 25% off of all of your purchases for an entire year, and you always get your shipping back. So when you consider the cost of the 25% discount, the savings rather, and the savings from getting your shipping back and free product, you are easily making up that $42 cost with a purchase that's just over $100. So it doesn't take long to get your money back. The best part of it is that the wholesale membership comes included in one of our enrollment kits, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. When it comes time to renew your 1-year membership, it's $30, but then you get a free peppermint oil, which is worth $35 at retail. So it's a pretty simple process to renew and pretty cost effective. When we're getting our wholesale account, not only do we get 25% off, but we get access to what's called the Loyalty Reward Program, which is a customized monthly subscription that can give you anywhere from 10 to 30% back in free product. And there's also an ability to participate in what's called the Product of the Month Club, which you get a free product every month simply by having a 125 PV order that you process by the 15th. I'm going to skip this, and we can go into more detail if you want to get more information from the shop tab on my website. That will give you more details about wholesale purchasing. But I want you to know that you do have the ability to enroll with an enrollment kit, and I just want to show you some of the most popular ones. So the 10 oils that we talked about today are all featured in our Home Essentials kit and our Essential Collections kit. It's the exact same 10 oils. The difference is the size. The Home Essentials kit is a 15 ml bottle. The Essential Collection kit is a 5 ml bottle. So you get 3 times the amount in the Home Essentials kit. And just to put it into perspective, frankincense oil in and of itself is over $100 Canadian. So it's a way better value to get the Home Essentials, plus you're getting a free diffuser. And so that's an incredible savings, and it is the best way to start kind of at an entry level. There is an aromatics kit, which is a possibility if you're interested in essential aromatics, which is aromatherapy. There's an every oil kit where you can get literally every oil that doTERRA sells. And we also have a diamond kit, which has virtually every product that doTERRA sells. And that's available only through the United States. So the price that you're seeing here is a US price. However, the most popular kit and the one that I find most people want to start with is the Natural Solutions kit. And that's where I'm going to spend my rest of my time here. This is a US dollar kit. So when you're looking at the prices, know that you're looking at US dollars. And even though you need to purchase this from the US warehouse, you can still have a Canadian account and get this kit. The reason why this is my favorite kit is not only do you get the 10 oils that we referred to, but you get other oils that are hugely supportive, including one that we would use for head tension and ones that we use for mood management. But also you are getting our supplement system. Again, the most popular product that doTERRA sells. What a great chance to try that. You're getting the best diffuser that we sell. I think, in my personal opinion, that it's the best diffuser. I love it. It's called the Aroma Light Diffuser. It's a $90 US diffuser in and of itself. And so this is a huge savings. You can see that your savings is over $220 US. Plus, if you order the month after you enroll with at least 100 PV or $100 US of oils, you're going to get $100 of oils for free. So it becomes an incredible value. So I love this kit. It tends to be where a lot of people like to start. Okay, so we've talked about what essential oils are, why doTERRA is different, how we use them, and how you can get them into your home. If you would like any further information, please feel free to contact me. I would love to connect with you. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.